and welcome to News2Gamers. I'm your host Simon Hill, and we are getting closer by the day to the biggest expo in the gaming calendar. We are building the hype even more on tonight's episode as we continue our road to E3. We have lots of cool stuff happening, so let's get to it. On tonight's episode, we check out the latest trailer for the brand new update for Grand Theft Auto 5. It's pretty damn good. Plus, we'll be checking out Leanne, who's here talking to you guys on social media about the upcoming excitement for E3. Talking of E3, we continue our road to as we check out some of the most exciting games coming to this year's Expo in Los Angeles. We also see the return of Respawn as Rich covers one of the most iconic games in gaming history. Plus, you Pokemon fans out there are getting a treat with brand new info on Pokemon Sun and Moon. But first, here's the lowdown. Let's kick off with The Division now. A silver screen adaptation of the Tom Clancy game is in the works with Donnie Darko himself, Jake Gyllenhaal, playing the lead role. As reported by Variety, Gyllenhaal is also producing the film. A movie based on The Division shouldn't be that surprising given that Ubisoft's shared world shooter was the best-selling new video game IP in history. Based on its first week, it generated an astounding $330 million in 5 days. It's pretty impressive. As of mid-May, it now has over 9.5 million registered users. Of course, there's still a fair chance the film adaptation of The Division will never see the light of day. Variety noted that the studio is still looking for a writer and that Ubisoft has yet to do some shopping around for it. Speculation suggests that the video game publisher wants to enlist another big-name actor. Leonardo DiCaprio, anyone for this? Yeah, but that's still far away yet, before the pitching stage. Pretty exciting though. Okay, Pokemon fans, the new Pokédex in Pokemon Sun and Moon is itself a Pokemon. Well, sort of. Your Pokédex device is inhabited by a new breed of Rotom, the Pokemon found in human-made electrical items. It has various forms, an oven, a fridge, a garden mower, and now a Pokédex. Rotom will imbue your Pokédex with a chatty personality and add new functionality to the device. You'll be able to ask it where to go next, for example. Sun and Moon are set to land on 3DS in time for Christmas. Let's have a look at the new trailer though. It's pretty damn cool. So we all knew it was happening, but Ubisoft has now officially confirmed that Watch Dogs 2 will make its debut at E3 2016. In an email detailing its plans for the event, the company said it will present highly anticipated titles such as Watch Dogs 2, For Honor and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, which looks amazing. I know our director's excited about that one. It also has promised to unveil some surprises. The confirmation follows a leak originating from a YouTube personality who posted a picture of a Watch Dogs 2 themed gift box on Twitter, effectively outing its impending debut ahead of schedule. Ubisoft's E3 showcase is scheduled for Monday, June 13th, starting at 9 PM British summertime. Exciting stuff. Now this is one game I am super excited about. 2K Games have confirmed that its crime epic Mafia 3 will have more than 100 songs on its in-game soundtrack, including tunes from a variety of genres such as rock, R&B, blues and pop. These include some major hits like Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones, Jimi Hendrix version of All Along the Watchtower, which is amazing, The Animals' House to the Rising Sun and many more. While the full soundtrack has not yet been announced, 2K did share the 11 songs that are featured on the 2LP vinyl soundtrack that's included in the £150 Collector's Edition. The Collector's Edition, which was recently announced, includes the following: Mafia 3 official soundtrack of New Bordeaux, Mafia 3 original game score, exclusive collectible art prints, the Art of Mafia 3 collectible art book, Lincoln Clay's replica dog tags, faux leather establishment drink coasters, and a season pass for all the DLC that will be released for the game. Mafia 3 launches on October the 7th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC, and for me, I can't wait. Rockstar Games have released a trailer for further adventures in Finance and Felony, which is the next big update for GTA Online. Further Adventures in Finance and Felony came out 7th of June and lets you build a criminal empire as a CEO. You can traffic illicit cargo and contraband, disrupt rival supply chains, and even get new vehicles. You can also open offices and hire a hot executive assistant. The idea is that you run the town through a series of hostile takeovers. Let's take a look at this amazing new trailers and some of the things you can get up to in Los Santos with this awesome new trailer. Take a look.
I'm just a wind in the mist, speed lines. Got your head in a twist, I'm in a motion. What kind of magic is this? You think you're hot fish? You just a name on the list. I crossed you out, kid. I did it quick as a whip, and you're gone. All at the flick of a wrist, I'm in a motion, and you don't
I'm being paid by the hour, right?
Can't believe you got the nerve to come after me. Coming fast, but I'm cruising at half the speed. Million miles in a second the fastest. So far, I'm a miracle masterpiece. You had to run it up and down to come after me. Coming fast, but I'm running at half the speed. Million miles in a second the fastest. So far, I'm a miracle masterpiece.
Man, GTA is still so much fun, even after 3 years since its release. God, it doesn't seem that long, does it? I wonder what we'll see next from Rockstar Games. Right, time to head over to my co-host now, who's been talking to you guys on social media and see what you guys are super hyped for and what you're all looking forward to from this year's E3 2016. Leanne, what's going on social media?
Thanks, Simon. Yes, lots of excitement this week, especially with E3 right around the corner. Glenn Percival says hashtag E3 prediction of the day, VR overload. Whereas it's Jack thinks there's a new Red Dead being announced at hashtag E3, hashtag Intel. Laura Varley, considering 2016 is Crash Bandicoot's anniversary, I'll be very surprised if a revival doesn't get announced at hashtag E3. Swat, in terms of Halo, this is my prediction. Halo 6 short teaser, Halo 5 firefight, and info on gimmicks, hashtag E3. Josh Chance, there's 3 things I want to see at hashtag E3. Legend of Zelda. Siobhan Hamer, hashtag E3 is soon, and so is this year's annual stream party. Lots of alcohol and games, and fingers crossed something new from Naughty Dog. Now, NBA 2017's cover song has been released as Paul George, and it has certainly captured your attention on social media. Born Ready tweets, 2 of my favourite players are going to be on 2K next year, hashtag Kobe Bryant, hashtag Paul George. Thomas Navarro tweets, congrats to @YGTrees for gracing the cover of NBA 2K17, hashtag Paul George. And Anthony Love tweets simply, ready for hashtag NBA 2K17. Now, I love a good beat 'em up, so I am pretty excited for the upcoming Tekkan 7 and hoping to see more about it at E3. Let's see if you guys are as excited as me. Heather France says, hashtag Tekkan 7 has some of the smoothest gameplay I've ever experienced in a fighting game. Might have to buy this one when it's released. Rebo Acid, I really hope Julia Changs makes it to Tekkan 7. May we find her real parents, she gets revenge on Hihachi because of Michelle, hashtag Tekkan 7. Drago Slaw says, the hype for hashtag Tekkan 7 from CB 2016 is killing me. I cannot wait until the game comes out. You guys have me hooked. Now, Dishonored 2 is setting itself up to be something quite special, as examples of the game show that powers can be combined in ways the developer never thought possible. Zeke Thompson, so excited for hashtag Dishonored 2. So far, the game looks amazing. Nabeeg Zaman, I hope there are female characters as enemies too in hashtag Dishonored 2. Otherwise, killing males only as Emily would be offensive. Jarin, hashtag Dishonored 2's Emily's new powers are insane. Now, come and join in the conversation by heading over to our Twitter page at News2Gamers. You can also find us on Facebook or catch up on our previous episodes and extras on our YouTube channel. Stay tuned. After the break, Simon and Neil will be bringing you all the excitement leading up to this super exciting gaming expo with our News2Gamers Road to E3. Also, we will have another nostalgic trip with our director, Rich's Respawn. Don't go anywhere.
Yes, welcome back to News2Gamers. Still to come, we continue our journey down the long road to E3 as we look at another title we can expect to see at this year's conference in Los Angeles. But first, we love nostalgia on this show, as you already know, and we're getting a hell of a lot of requests from you guys who want to see us cover some amazing retro games. So this week, Richard's gone even more iconic, so let's take a look at what he's covering in Respawn.
Naughty Dog's PlayStation 1 classic Crash Bandicoot is one of those rare retro titles that still feels almost as satisfying to play now as it did back upon its release 20 years ago. I think it's safe to say that's quite a cruel reminder for many of you out there of how quickly those years have slipped away. The game is set in the fictional Wumpa Islands, inspired by the Australian outback, and sees you fighting against the megalomaniacal desires of antagonist Dr. Neo Cortex. In the interests of offering useless trivia, the game actually began with the project title Sonic's Arse Game due to the fact the player is forced to view the world from the protagonist's backside. However, this title is still probably superior to what the marketing director of their publisher originally insisted on the game being called. If they had their way, you'll be watching me play Wizzy, Wes or Willy the Wombat right now. Or perhaps not, as such a demonstrable branding error would likely have rendered this title to the bargain bin of history, because while it would be difficult to deny that Crash Bandicoot is a solid platform game, it was certainly not the first or best of its kind during the era. Part of what makes Crash Bandicoot so enjoyable and memorable is the weird and wonderful world of characters, plots and places you find yourself interacting with. Although this isn't to suggest that the game is all style over substance, while it basically sees you doing the typical platformery things, smashing crates, jumping over obstacles, collecting fruit, killing enemies and finding coveted hidden gems, it does all of these things incredibly well. Crash Bandicoot comes from a bygone era where games were still fairly unforgiving, where checkpoints were only as good as how many lives you had left, and developers almost seemed to take callous pride in frustrating their customers with almost impossible to complete tasks which were more infuriating than enjoyable. If you have to replay a level on modern games, thanks to the dynamic physics and AI, you tend to be greeted with a whole new playing experience, whereas back then you had to jump repeatedly on the same boss's head whenever they intermittently left themselves open for some indeterminable reason. Although this always rewarded a worthwhile sense of satisfaction if you persevered long enough to finally complete them, and it's that sense of rhythm which makes games like this so replayable and unique from modern blockbusters. Despite Sony's insistence to the contrary, Crash Bandicoot really did feel like the PlayStation's answer to Mario or Sonic, a mascot as easily as iconic as Parappa the Rapper or Spyro, even if it is a completely third-party creation. And while Sony have never seemed to pride themselves on iconic characters in the same way the likes of Sega or Nintendo have, and instead opt for highlighting iconic games instead, I doubt many PlayStation owners can indulge in nostalgia about those days without picturing Crash's cheeky grin / arse. The game was received fairly well by critics upon its release, but I don't think anyone quite envisioned what a classic it would turn out to be. The fact that the game was released fairly early following the release of the PlayStation was probably quite a strong contribution to this, but this isn't to suggest that it isn't worth a replay, or if you're one of our enviably younger viewers, perhaps even a go at playing it for the first time. There are a few rumours floating about which suggest a new Crash Bandicoot is in the works though, so if you don't get the opportunity to play this classic before then, fingers crossed we'll get to experience a new adventure with the mischievous marsupial in the near future. This has been Richard Gulick for Respawn.
Wow, really takes me back to my childhood. I'm still awaiting the request for the original Rayman. That was one of the best games ever made. Rich really needs to hurry up on that one. With games new and old, we are all super hyped for this year's E3 conference. Now, there's so many games I would love to see at E3, one being a new Ninja Gaiden. That game was just beyond awesome, and I think a new one is long overdue. I'd love to see something new on Crash Bandicoot, Red Dead 2 would just be a mind blow, and maybe even a new Ape Escape. Right, talking of E3, Simon and Neil are counting down the days with the News2Gamers Road to E3 as they cover some of the amazing games we are expected to see over the 3 days in LA. So guys, over to you.
Hello and welcome to another News2Gamers episode of Road to E3, where we're going to be talking about For Honor today, aren't we?
Yeah.
One that
we
you're
are.
not excited about.
No. I'm like a snowman looking at summer and thinking this doesn't look good for me. This doesn't look like this is going to be
Where
my
do you get
season.
these
I don't
from?
know. You'd be surprised the ones I reject.
Oh, right,
So
okay.
yeah, they're worse. We'll
Anyway,
do them.
shall we get to the game?
Do we have to?
Unfortunately, yeah. No, I'm going to try my hardest not to be negative with this.
Okay. Let's try and be positive.
Let's
Go on,
try and be
go on.
positive.
Give me the
So,
positives.
Ubisoft revealed this last year
Yep.
as a brand new IP, an arena-based sort of beat 'em up. It looks interesting.
Oh, you're being
just
kind.
Don't know where they can go from what we saw. Like,
I don't think they're going to go anywhere different with it. And this is my problem with certain companies, not always Ubisoft and just things like that. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
Same thing over and
churning it
over
out.
again, churning it out, which is fine. If you've got the franchise, but with this, it just doesn't float my boat at all,
yeah.
and it never has.
So the
really,
whole Knights and the whole look and feel of the whole century.
It was
that
like
it's
the Roman
based in.
stuff, when we were in the Gladiators, and that never got my attention
No,
either.
no.
So that it could be me, it could be both of us.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's people out there that do really dig this, tell us why you dig it, because I don't get it. It doesn't offer me anything different.
What would you
unfortunately.
like to see different at this year's E3? You know, because we've seen the gameplay footage now, but that again, it was very sparse. But I want to see different worlds. I think.
Yeah.
I think we need to see different worlds, and we need to see how you can advance a little bit more. I think.
I want it to be a bit more intuitive. I want it to.
Yeah.
I want it to take me different places. I don't want it to be a Red Dead. I don't want it to be a GTA, and that kind of. I just want them to have elements of it. But that's probably because I love those games.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
probably being
yeah.
quite harsh and unfair to it. But it just. Yeah.
Do you think
doesn't
this
get me
is
excited.
Ubisoft's new flagship?
I hope not, because I don't think it's going to go well. This is, could be. I mean, look, the trailer was good. It looks visually okay, but
Yeah.
I just don't think it's not for me. I think, and
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to hear what people say and why it is for them.
Awesome. Well, drop us a comment. Let us know what you think about For Honor and what you think they will show at E3 this year. Tune in tomorrow for our next dose of the Road to E3. So there you go, another dose of our Road to E3, and only a few days left until the big event. Exciting times. We've got an incredible new trailer to show for you now from Guerrilla Games. It's their new open world RPG, Horizon Zero Dawn. It's due to release on the 3rd of March 2017 in the UK. I definitely cannot wait to see more of this at E3. But in the meantime, here's the pre-E3 trailer for Horizon Zero Dawn. It's pretty awesome. Check it out.
Your whole life you've been searching. And the elders, they've been holding you back.
The girl is a curse. She came from nowhere. She is no one.
When they told me to raise you, I didn't ask questions.
Why am I an outcast? Who was my mother?
Always you pushed for answers. Push yourself to the edge. Here in the valley, we may be outcasts, but it's safe. Out there, girl, you'll be lost. You won't know where to turn or who to trust. You'll be chasing a riddle into a wilderness of mysteries. The world of the old ones. What secrets lie buried beneath their crumbling ruins? Why Earth is ours no more. These questions, Aloy, are worse than not knowing.
You can help, or you can get out of my way.
Then be ready for the darkness. And be careful what you bring to light. Even if you do catch what you're after, how do you know it won't bite back?
Outcast! You came from nothing. You will die a nothing.
I came from somewhere.
Identity confirmed.
Even if it destroys me, I will see this through.
Wow, pretty awesome. Right, that is the end of the show, and it's been another busy one for us.
It's been really good.
And we've got lots going on. The excitement is real now for E3. It's just around the corner.
I'm just so impatient. I just wanted to hurry up already.
Me too. And lots of big publishers and developers are going to be there. You know, EA, Ubisoft, Rockstar for the first time. Deep Silver are going to be announcing stuff. Square Enix are there. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. The list goes on. It's exciting, and it's like Christmas all over again.
It really is. It's going to be so amazing. Now, don't forget to head over to our YouTube channel where you can catch up on all the latest surrounding this year's E3.
And lots going on in E3 for us, as well as News2Gamers Extra is going to have a 1 hour long special where we're joined by 2 Twitch personalities, aren't we? It's going to be
and they're
pretty
massive
awesome.
as well.
They are. LT Zonda is going to be joining us on the sofa alongside D'Angelus Rocks. Myself and Neil will be hosting a 1 hour long special this Saturday from 10:30 PM. Until then, keep it locked.